One extra DJ Ace in the house, in the building. And you know what? I just put out on my Instagram that the guest in the studio with me right now is in the studio. And I was like, yo, what would you want me to ask this guy? My phone is blowing up. I might need a charger. There's a lot of questions for the man in front of me right now. I want to introduce and say welcome to One Extra. Raz B, what's going on, sir?
Man, I'm just happy to be here, yo.
He gave himself a round of applause.
No, God is good. You know, I'm just happy to be here. It's been an incredible journey, you know, from a boy to a king, shall I say, B2K, you know what I mean? Last time I was here in...
I was going to ask you that. When was the last time?
I was 16. We were doing Top of the Pops.
Oh, wow.
You feel me? And then the group broke up.
And that show's not even on the TV no more.
Yeah, see, the group broke up and we left a lot of record sales and a lot of sad supporters over here.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully we can pick up where we left off at.
16 years old was the last time you was here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's been long overdue. And I will say this now, like, when you guys originally announced the Millienium Tour, we just assumed it was off the rip that it was coming to the UK.
That would have been
We
crazy.
was just like, we can't wait. Where do we buy tickets? It never came.
That's pretty sad. That's kind of why I'm here. I'm passing through. I'm going to Switzerland, Dubai, but I want to stop off and over here and show some love to the people because I've been talking to the guys. I'm like, yo, we need to pull this together, despite you know what's going on. You know,
we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, we get to that too. But despite what's going on, you know, because we're family. I said, you know, we need to take this thing around the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
well, let's start there. I mean, is that likely to happen at some point? Will we get the Millienium Tour in the UK?
That's a good question. I don't know if it'd be called the Millienium Tour, but I know I've been talking to the guys.
When you say the guys, you need to be specific.
Okay, I've been talking to all group members: Lil Fizz, J Bug, and Omarion.
All four of you guys,
including myself,
are still in conversation at the moment.
Yeah, we talk.
Right, and there is a possibility that show will actually hit the UK.
I believe that. That's just me personally. I'm the spirit of the group. You know, it took me many years to convince the guys that we need to do this. And I mean, it's going as far as me trademarking the actual name B2K.
Oh, wow.
And put it in all four of our names. I'm the businessman over here.
Okay.
You know, and then my investor, he's coming and he actually put up the money for the tour.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
So you trademarking it so that you own the name B2K or all four of you?
All four of us.
Oh,
but
okay.
I initially trademarked it and paid for it with my money.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we're going to get to the Millienium Tour 100 because there's so much I want to ask about that. But I mean, you've had a career that started in 98 being in B2K, 6 years with B2K. You guys broke up. Let's talk about those 6 years though.
Okay.
Like, do you have fond memories of the 6 years that you were in the biggest R&B boy band in the world?
It was like a movie. Like you're in like this big bubble, you know, living your dream. You know, I grew up doing talent shows, and it was just amazing to be able to have the opportunity to be signed by Sony Epic at the time, by Tommy Mottola, and everybody was on that label. Michael Jackson, Dixie Chicks, Destiny Child, you name it, Genuine. So those 6 years were like, it's kind of like a blur,
right?
But I just know it was filled with a lot of joy and happiness because we were just young.
How old were you when you started? When you
probably 12 and a half, 13.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like we're really young.
Yeah.
And we were just doing what we love to do.
Yeah.
But as you get older, the world comes involved and you start to see that everything ain't always peaches and cream. So you got to get your business right. And I think that's one thing that it took B2K some growing up to do and for us, most importantly, to get our business right and really understand that we have the power to actually come together and make this happen as adults.
I think now in 2020, like mental well-being or mental health is a huge thing. And I think we all kind of look after each other, make sure everybody's okay. And like people ask each other if they're okay a lot. As 12 and 13-year-olds being propelled into the music industry, do you feel like you guys were looked after in that sense? Like, do you feel like your well-being was taken care of?
I don't think so.
What? Okay.
I don't think so at all. I think
because how are you even prepared for that?
I think the well-being was taken care of enough to get the group to the stage.
Right.
Right. But I feel like there were so many different parts that were alienated. For whether it's maybe schooling. Maybe I saw when the money started to come in, people used to be on this real heavy to do our schooling.
Right.
Because they knew if we weren't doing our school and, you know, we couldn't get to work. But as we started to get older, obviously we got to take our own responsibilities as young adults. And I just kind of felt like we needed probably a stronger support system, because when that money started to come in, you know, a lot of our family members weren't around. So we had people around that was just like strictly just business. And you learn at a young age that, yo, this is a business. And you're good as your last hit.
Yeah. I mean, and to be in that group for 6 years, do you remember the day it was over? And do you remember how you felt about it being done?
I never really accepted it being done. I'm the only one with a B2K tattoo on my arm.
Okay.
Right? I never really accepted it being done. I just feel like we were just going through a transition. But during that time when there was, we were on a hiatus, it was really interesting to see how, I won't say the world would turn on you, but it was really cool to see how people treated you when you're, quote unquote, not having a #1 record out, or maybe you're not, maybe you're not driving this quote unquote fancy car at the moment, because maybe you want to be conservative. I live for myself. And it was a really sad day, because, without getting too much into the behind the scenes stuff, there were so many different moving parts. And I just really feel like if you're going to put together a group, I feel like the group needs to be managed. Like, what I mean by managed, like, maybe the guys don't always need to be around each other so they can miss each other. Maybe there's certain things that need to be done. Maybe there's counseling. Maybe they should do this. Maybe they should do that. There's a lot of different things that we did, but I feel like as a group too, there was some animosity that needed to be addressed, because as we grow older, we all turn into our own characters and we get a chance to see, who we are and our own experiences and whatnot. So I just kind of feel like God willing, if I was to put together a group one day, I feel like I know exactly how to have the biggest group of all time,
right, and
keep them together, and they'll still be torn.
Well, obviously, you would have learned from the mistakes that you guys made.
I mean, but it seemed like every urban group is the one that's having the problems, but all the Caucasian groups can go out there and get their back for the next 20 years.
That's a real interesting
and I've been
point.
I'm just.
That's a very interesting point. Was there somebody though that was kind of like the peacemaker, or somebody that you guys could all go to that would help sort out individual problems or an issue you had with another member? Was there somebody that you could see as, I don't know, somebody that would come in and maybe be that counselor or be that authority figure maybe?
It seemed like we all have our gifts in the group.
Yeah.
And we all have our strengths.
Right.
It seemed like it varies at times and jumped around, but I would probably give that to Jay Book.
Okay.
And maybe myself. We're pretty reasonable. Not saying that, the other guys are not, but I mean, we're pretty reasonable. I mean, his cousin is Marcus Houston.
Right.
My cousin is Chris Stokes.
Right.
So we kind of grew up under them. So I think we took a little bit more of the business and the mature aspect on growing up, because we had that responsibility, people looking at us that way.
When you, like, as a group, you have like a fandom like that, and it was euphoric, girls screaming, running
Crazy.
down the truck, like crying, and you break up and you see the effect on the fans.
Right.
Is there a feeling of guilt at all?
Of course. I mean, when on the Millienium Tour, a lot of the supporters, they would come in and they were like, Raz, thank you for never leaving the group.
Right.
I know that. I'm not we're all spiritual beings, right? The older we and more mature we get and walk in our faith, we start to really understand what the hell's going on, and what's going on this planet and this and that, and you start digging. And I just realized that we inspire so many people, just like so many people that's come before me that inspired me. So I felt like people felt that was taken from them, and I personally felt they were robbed.
Right.
So it was my quest to do whatever I had to do, to get this group back on the forefront. Most importantly, so God can get the glory by allowing for that love to be shown and the joy that all the people received through that experience.
Right.
So, and even now, I'm still not giving up.
It's interesting because I hear a lot of stories. I watch a lot of like biographical documentaries and stuff, and you hear about groups, and maybe like one member, after the group ends, they like kind of don't know what to do with themselves. And I've always seen that you're moving. You do stuff. You moved to China. You did like what is it in you that keeps you wanting to just it's kind of like you always see that B2K, and you've kept that close, and you kind of you've even said you've never left B2K.
Right, never.
How do you keep that fire burning?
It's easy when you understand. I grew up in a church, right? Then I grew past the religion. So they say like, seek ye the kingdom of God and all your things will be added unto you. It's real simple. Break it down without religion. It's like The Secret. Focus your pineal gland. Like Tyler Perry said, focus. Just stop trying to water 10 seeds. Water one. Focus on one thing, and then from there you can manifest everything else. I said to myself, B2K, Boys of the New Millennium. Here it is. I'm on my journey because like the group was built around me. My cousin started the group with me, so the group was built around me. So it's kind of like I took it the hardest. You know, Boys to King is like young boys growing up, learn how to run their kingdom. When I say your kingdom, keep it on your thoughts and in the captivity of Christ. So you have to like mental health is everything. So I just felt like that through this journey, when you have such a huge platform and then you have this whole world of people that are like, it's essentially it takes a village to raise a child. So it's like, why would you want to abandon that? You know what I'm saying? Why run away from that instead of like when you can run towards it? So that's why from Twitter to Instagram, my handler is B2K, because Boys to Kings is like the final chapter of the story. I feel like when you have that, why alienate a whole people? You know what I'm saying? That's out there that has like, forget a record sale, forget a stream, that actually have love for you, that actually care about your well-being. So I just think that's you have to be in that experience to know. Right. Like same thing for you. I mean, you're talking to millions of people all around the world, and you know, people are like, "Yo, man, you taking a break, man? You're not getting back into it, man. Your voice is soothing to us." You know what I mean? So it's just a calling, and I think that drive is just to be great and to leave to push the human race forward, and most importantly, leave a legacy behind, or shall I say, influence or energy behind. Right. You know, like Kobe did. You know, that Mamba mentality.
When the conversations began about the reunion, because we had loads of like whispers about a reunion.
That was all been me, baby.
And I know a lot of them.
Crafty boy.
I know a lot of those whispers came from you. But when they first started, so are you saying that you were the first person that initiated the Millennium?
I mean, anything. The Millienium Tour, no disrespect to the name Millienium Tour, but I have a problem when people say the Millienium Tour. And the reason why I have that problem is because I'm a businessman. I would have preferred for B2K to own that trademark. Okay. Right? Because it was the B2K reunion that made that tour as big as what it is. So the B2K tour, no disrespect,
you started the conversations about it.
There's a lot of moving behind closed doors. Right. You know, maybe the public may see Lil Fizz and say, okay, well, Fizz was the one.
Obviously, we watch Love and Hip Hop, and it looked like he was trying to bring the group back together.
I ain't discrediting my boy, but it's the power phone calls that calls him so he can call me, and then he goes to the producers. Right. So I'm happy that my boy Fizz was, you know, I wasn't just the only one trying to put B2K back together. Now it appears that two was trying to put the group back together. Right. So I just feel like you put enough pressure and you bring the bag, what you gonna do? Okay. So what's up?
And what are those phone calls like? Are the individual members of the group calling each other? Are you calling Fizz or Omarion? Or is it like, yo, my people are going to do with your people?
Me and Fizz was able to connect directly. Right. Me and Boog was able to connect directly. We had to do some stuff to go around Amarion's manager. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I think once everybody really, I deal with the big boys. My politics are good. So, you know, once everybody laid everything out, you know, it made sense. Otherwise, I mean, I ain't taking no shots. But I mean, I see a lot of people that came from that class of 2003 as solo artists. And I think this was a good move for Amarion's manager to allow for him to be a part of his legacy. I think it was really good.
I caught that one, but it's fine. We'll keep it moving. Like, I want to know.
I mean, I'm putting it on the management. No, B2K is endless.
Yeah, I feel you.
It is what it is.
I feel you. So what I really want to know, like that.
Whatever. Let's go.
That first rehearsal, that first time you guys have seen each other all together as a four. You're about to go and rehearse to go on this tour, the B2K reunion tour. What was that like, walking into a room with your three band members that you haven't seen in all of these years? We need to start rehearsing. We need to get back tight. What was that like? What was that first initial day like?
Oh, man, I think we seen each other for the photo.
It was a photo shoot before the rehearsal?
I'm trying to remember because it's like a little blur. I think it was either we met at Amarion's manager's house and we did the fitting.
Okay.
And what was the rehearsal? But just
even that, okay. Like the first time you've walked through the door, you guys will know you're going on tour together. You haven't performed together in over 10 years. Like, what was that first initial meeting like? Was it daps? Was it what's going on? Was it Was it nods? Was it anything? Was there any interaction?
It was some chuckles.
Yeah.
Because we've all like been watching each other from afar.
Yeah.
Do our shit. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
No,
my bad.
we're recording this.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, I've been watching everybody like do their thing from afar. So me and Fizz, we just looked at each other and we just kind of chuckled. We all kind of pounded up. It was pretty cool because I'm like, these are my brothers.
Right.
I can speak for myself. I was just full of joy. Definitely.
So the chemistry was there instantly.
Bro, the chemistry, man, listen, if you can block out all the stuff that traumatized or anything that's happened to us, you would think like it was yesterday. Especially at the photo shoot, bro. At the photo shoot, man, it was just like, I was like, ladies and gentlemen, B2K. And everybody just started clapping in the room. But everybody seen that magic that we have together. Yeah. So it was just dope. We started clowning, started playing. But, like I said, Amari, he had a solo career longer than we were actually together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine what that was like for him and the things that he had to go through as a solo artist and as a lead singer. So, but the chemistry was fire.
Were there any members of the group that were like, look, before we even do anything, I need to have a conversation with you about...
Of course.
Okay, so were those conversations handled? And if you don't mind me asking, who had to have a conversation with you?
It seemed like a lot of conversations were starting to come up in rehearsal.
Right.
Because I remember I had to have one with Bug. Everybody has a way that they like to do their business. That was the cool part I had to see. Because, I was like, well, let's just structure the deal. If everybody's not going to sign one document, let's all structure where everybody can sign their own documents. So it was just really about making sure that everybody felt comfortable. And I think that's kind of where I came in to make sure that everybody had everything that they need.
Was it a four-way split, if you don't mind me asking?
Let's say because I'm the true spirit of the group. I'm the one that took the sacrifice.
Really?
But like I said, I got the bank with me.
Did you take the biggest sacrifice?
In a way.
That's not cool.
It's okay.
That's not cool.
It's okay. People like to point the finger at Raz, but I'm the one. I just fed everybody's kids. If you really want to put it on the table, my money man about to come up here right now. So I'm just saying. So no trademark, no money. What would be? And no Raz B. I could have stayed my ass in China. Right. So I'm just saying.
I mean, and did you feel a little bit of a way about taking the biggest sacrifice?
I felt the way about a bunch of things, but I'm not here to complain about that. It's just like I took the cards that I was dealt. I took the sacrifice. I choose to be the lender and not the borrower. So you can't steal from me when I'm already given. God has already given me the gifts because he wouldn't want anyone else to take credit for it. So
did you think like that affected you going on tour? Because we know you missed a few of the shows. Did you think your attitude might have changed a little bit because you took the biggest sacrifice?
No, I was just more passionate about it than I think everybody was. I could see everybody. I was really passionate about the group. There was for example, there was breakdowns that I wanted to do that we didn't do. There were songs that I wanted to perform that we didn't perform. There was a stage that I designed from the last tour from 16 years ago that we didn't design. So it was just a lot of little things. The tour did very well because the numbers were highly priced. You know what I'm saying? But, maybe we also ran through some rough patches. I mean, I have a documentary coming out.
About the tour?
Man, I'm talking about everything, bro.
Oh, wow.
I got to get this shit off me before I die.
Yeah.
But it's all love. At the end of the day, Raz is the truth. What I say happens. If I said it happened, it happened. And that's just how I'm going to go down in history. You know what I'm saying? For being a man of my word. And being real. Raz means revealer of secrets for people out there.
I mean, he talked about. Okay. Being on that tour though, what was that like for you? Was it difficult? Was it just nothing had ever changed? What was it like from day to day?
I thought it was pretty interesting, just to give y'all some insight, because we all had to learn to respect each other's space.
Right.
When we got to the stage, it's all business. It kind of reminded me how it used to be. Believe it or not, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, because me and Amari would hang out a lot. Fizz and Boog would hang out a lot. But we would come together when we pray. But what I didn't know, there was a lot. It seemed like there was a lot of animosity between some of the members.
Right.
I wouldn't say necessarily me, but it seemed like there was some animosity amongst the members that. I think a conversation is everything. You know what I mean? And even right now, for us to go back on tour, I mean, we just did the impossible. That's what Amari texted me not too long ago. He's like, man, we just did the impossible. I was like, I know. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I truly believe people should be in a good mental space and be happy with who they're working with and stuff like that. And you know, I'm being very careful how I'm putting the group back together now because I don't want to force nothing if it's not there.
Right.
I knew there was some passion and fire there, and I would watch everybody's face when I was on stage, and I can tell everybody was like. We just like locked back in, especially when we did man. We did that step when we was like 15 years old. So we up there 34 doing these routines now. It's like, yo.
Yeah.
But
is that all muscle memory? Like, would it all just coming straight back to you guys?
You know, man, God really had me shining because I told him, I was like, yo, this group's gonna come back together. So I was already like doing I was doing the steps years ago.
Right.
I got in rehearsal.
And I told him,
yeah, I'm up here.
You've been rehearsing
I was like,
all these years.
I'm gonna blaze their ass when I get up in there. I told him I'm the one. No, I'm just like, but they gonna hear this interview like, boy, this boy Raz. I love y'all. We was up in there, we was having a good time, and I just think I needed to re-trigger some of their memories. And they knew. They knew the stuff, so it was pretty cool. I had fun. I just felt like things could have been a lot different if I was fully in control of everything. But you have to relinquish power, and you have to allow for people to bring their whack ass ideas, even if you think they're cool. You just have to let them go because you want people a part of shit.
You mentioned animosity, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ask you. I mean, we've watched it in the blogs, we've watched it on various different Instagram pages, and we've even watched it on Love and Hip Hop.
Right?
Do you feel like, was it uncomfortable for you being in the group and seeing what was going on between Lil Fizz and Apryl, who is the mother of Omarion's children?
Yeah, that whole thing right there in itself is like, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what the hell that was.
Right.
I don't know if that was Mona Scott and just them TV. You know what I'm saying?
You don't even believe it to be a real thing?
I mean, I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Because I stayed away from it, but it did. There was something there. There was a lot going on that I didn't know about, but I know those two particular guys since we were kids.
Yeah.
It was always something with some girl.
Fighting over a girl.
Yeah. And then I remember Fizz got his solo deal first, and then he got into his solo album, and Amar they always had something. I don't know what that is.
So you think there's like a competition thing with them?
I don't know. Maybe Fizz. I don't know. Maybe Fizz wants to be Omarion. Maybe he wants to be. I don't know. I'm not taking shots at my boy. Maybe he wants to be number one. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I really can't really speak on it. But
I just mean
me personally, that's a situation. That's a touchy situation. I don't care if somebody put $1 billion in my face. I'm just not touching that.
Yeah.
Because it's not, and people want to blame her or people want to blame him for fucking up the bag. That's not the case. There was eternal issues that's been going on since we were kids that I felt like now that certain elements and certain management and past management out the way, how do we come together as brothers and really deal with it? And if there's really no love there, then which I know there is, then okay, cool. So I don't really know.
Right.
I don't know. That's a weird one.
Well, I mean, and then fast forward to like November 26th, which was Fizz's birthday of last year, and Omarion announces a new tour, which you guys are not involved in. Do you think that was a shot? Do you think that? Obviously, the internet went crazy, and we're all suspecting that.
How's that tour doing?
We have no idea. I don't know. Was that a shot there? How is that tour doing?
I mean, that was my contact,
right,
and my investor. So I'm still got my hands in things. I don't know. It looked pretty good. I called Amari's manager, and I was like, that's pretty funny. They say they didn't plan that, but he's a pretty smart guy. So I don't know. That's their story. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought the shit was funny.
Did you didn't feel a way about it at all?
Nah, because I mean I'm pretty sure Amari didn't even want to really do that tour. But you want to get your bag up though, right?
Right.
So who knows? I don't know. I mean, but I will tell you this: I will never let B2K die. So I got something in my sleeve.
So this is coming. So this is coming from you. You're saying that there's likely to be another B2K reunion.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
This is just another chapter. I mean, it's another chapter. If y'all can go on tour and there was already some stuff there, you want no more money?
Yeah.
You don't want to come satisfy your supporters in the UK? I mean, I'm not selfish, so I'm ready to go when they're ready to go.
At any point during the tour, was there talk about new music?
Yeah, that was me telling Omari. I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, I'll take you in the studio.
You were the only one he would take.
I'm spilling all the beans.
All the tea. It's fine. We like it. What's fine?
Yeah, I mean, I just felt, I don't know. I don't think, I don't know. I think maybe Omari just came to get his bag and maybe close that chapter. I don't know how he would feel, like I said, after being solo for so long. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, B2K is so big. Mm-hmm. But he has a huge digital footprint himself. So I mean, I don't know what that's like. But I know he got a nice bag.
Yeah.
So
I think as like fans and people that are watching it from the outside, we come up with all of these conclusions about how he might be feeling about certain things or what's happened. What are some of the things you guys you have seen online that you're like, yo, that's crazy. That didn't happen. Or that's not how he feels about that. I mean, or that is a rumor. That's definitely a rumor.
Well, everybody always try to make Raz B look crazy, so we can talk about that.
Cool.
Well, let's spell crazy. CRAZY. So maybe I may be out of my mind a little bit. No, I'm out the box. I feel like throughout the years, because people have tried to discredit my truth, I feel like there's always going to be triggers around for people to try to trigger me so they can get a response. I accept my shortcomings, but just something in my spirit always feels like everybody's always tried to discredit my story and try to have me be quiet. But I just felt like my light and everything I was doing on that tour just shined really bright to where it's like, just keep going, man.
Yeah.
You know, just keep going. I don't know. I just feel like there's things that be like set up.
Right.
I don't know. It's just conspiracy type stuff.
So there was rumors that you're in the next season of Love and Hip Hop. That's not true? Yeah.
Nah.
You wouldn't work with them ever again?
Work with Love and Hip Hop?
Yeah.
I mean, they pretty much.
No.
I don't have any beef with anybody.
Okay.
I just didn't like how that whole situation goes down. I don't like how that, I worked so hard to put the tour together and then everybody didn't want me to finish the last few dates of the tour. But everybody wants to paint their story as Raz is crazy or something like that. Nah, man. Yeah, nah. This is that's why I'm going to say that for my documentary. I feel like it's a conspiracy. And if it's not, then maybe I'm just a fucked up individual and we all know that's not true.
Talk to us about your move to China.
Okay.
What was behind that?
All right, 2004, B2K had an opportunity to perform at the Great Wall of China.
Right.
I couldn't convince them to do that. I decided to go on with the company BTB Communications and continue to produce the show, which actually happened in 2004. Alicia Keys actually headlined that. So from there, I was on 106 in Park telling everybody I was going. It came to the point where the promoter didn't have enough money to actually afford me. So he still wanted me to come. And I was like, come on, bro. We got all these people, dancers, this, that. And how we going to cut? I was like, well, I'm not going then. Long story short, my lawyers get involved. They work out a deal where I can go. I still say I don't want to go. But something in my spirit was like, yo. My uncle was like, if it be in God's will, you go back to China. So 7 years later, somebody hit me up on Facebook about an opportunity, which was a 3-month residency. So I took that opportunity. It was pretty difficult with the language barriers and whatnot. And finally, which God gives me favor everywhere I go, I met some people over there that was like, yo, that's Raz B from B2K. Let's give him a bigger platform. So I wound up performing, doing all around China, billboards everywhere. Then I wound up getting a job in Shanghai, which was a club called M2. At the time, it was top 50 in the world, #1 in China, and I took a year contract. I made a lot of money there, and I just kind of stayed there. And from there, I branched out to producing music, selling tracks for $10,000, $18,000. I got into Apryl, started my own manufacturing company. So a lot of people be wearing my stuff and don't even know it.
Oh, wow.
Quiet. I am that quiet. I am very quiet. Because when people hating, when you get a taste of this business, you see how people hating on you,
right,
and you know how to move.
Right. I mean, do you feel like that is like people will have a preconceived notion of you being Raz B, so they might not?
Well, yeah,
give
because people want to cover up their truth.
Yeah.
And people don't want me to talk. Like people better pray I don't talk.
Right.
And they've been discrediting me for years. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna deal with that too when the time comes. But right now, you put that shit on the shelf and you get your bag.
And you came back and you're making music again. Talk to us about the new single. In fact, let's get into the new single.
It was things get real heavy up in here.
I apologize. Let's
it's all good. But we had to give y'all some stuff because B2K in here. So, Raz B is here in the flesh.
Yeah. And like I said, people have got so many questions. You're like, you guys, we want to know, like, and what I think is frustrating for your fans is we feel like we have to assume because we don't necessarily you guys don't necessarily give us everything.
Right.
So we feel like we have to assume, well, that's happened because that's happened, and that's happened because that's happened. So to have you in front of me, I gotta ask you all the questions.
Yeah, I welcome all. In the perfect world, it would have been nice if we had like a reality show where we can all just sit down and
just talk it out. Yeah.
Let me tell you this.
I would love that.
I don't have nothing to hide.
Right.
Not nothing. There's not a skeleton in my closet. And if it come out, we can talk about that too. That's just how I feel. I'm not gonna, because I'm not the only person that knows somebody else, but no. But the music, man, we got a hot new single. It's called NDA. The album is titled Full Disclosure. So in order to get to full disclosure, you got to sign an NDA. The record was produced by Travis, hot producer, man. The kid is a prodigy. He works right under the Clarence Avant, which is the Godfather, the Black Godfather. He's producing everybody right now. He just produced Safari's whole album. He actually just played me some stuff with Floyd Mayweather rapping. Do you know Floyd?
Way.
You know Floyd got bars?
No way. Are you serious? Okay.
Yes.
Floyd,
Floyd Mayweather got bars.
Okay, bars for him.
I was like, so my guy's producing everybody right now. And the track was hot. As soon as I heard it, we went to Skip Salem studio, and we cut the joint. I put it out independently. Really, my team was like, don't put it out. We need to wait for your documentary to come out because, me not being signed to a label, we would want to have the marketing infrastructure behind it. And I think once people see my documentary, you actually really get a chance to know some of the things I was telling you. Like, nobody know, like, I put the money up. Nobody know that I did. Nobody knows this. They just hear what people the stories they try to tell about me.
Right.
Well, why is Raz pushing back? What did Raz go through? What is his experience? So my album for me is like, it's like my testimony. The songs are from my story. Like, some of the songs on the album is like Ungrateful, Another song is called Guidance, which is dope, and it's like my message to the Father, and I'm just asking for guidance. Or another one is called Just Us Too. So this record is really dope because I feel like for the first time I'm in a position to have a proper introduction and a proper solo project.
Right.
And it's kind of like my Bible. It's kind of like my body of work that I, maybe I'll leave behind, God willing. So I funded the project myself, and we're in talks with some major networks right now to get the rest of the story. So it's coming along, man. I'm just excited. Real quick.
And you said, the documentary is something I'm going to be waiting for, man. Like, what can we expect from this documentary?
The truth.
Yeah.
There's not a question that I'm leaving on the table.
Yeah.
Not one.
There's a lot of questions.
Of course.
And there's a lot of stuff that people want to ask.
Of course. I know everyone y'all want to ask. I read the comments.
And that's going to be all in the documentary.
Yeah, I'm putting all in there.
There was a phase during like I don't know if it was like in the north. It was a little while ago when like you were popping up on YouTube and there was a lot of videos.
Right.
Do you regret anything that you put out during that time in terms of your social media presence and the YouTube videos?
That's a good question. I never been asked that one. I feel that there's a way I could have went about things in a better way. And in the beginning, I was handling that way. But what I started to find out, there was other ulterior motives and people around with their agendas that was using me. Yeah, oh, yeah. For that. Because I feel like if you deal with things privately, you can take care of them privately, but you don't want to have things out in the public, because it changes people's perception. But it's a different world now. You know what I'm saying? People are actually seeking out their mental health. People are actually seeking out healing. People are actually okay to talk about certain things because it doesn't really define an experience or what you've been through. It doesn't really define the person, but it's the things that we go through that builds our character. So I'm a walking testimony, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just happy to be an inspiration for everybody around the world.
Bro, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I want to say from me to you, black man to black man, are you okay?
I am good,
Are you good?
I am happy. I'm right here in front of you, man.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good, bro.
And I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I'll be back, too.
And you're going to say this, you're saying this one more time. We're in the UK. The whole UK's listening. The B2K tour is coming to the UK.
I'm doing everything in my power to bring B2K here.
What kind of a percentage are we at? Like, how close are we?
75%.
And I can also say this as well. Raz, don't take the biggest sacrifice no more, bro. You're part of the group as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like you should take the biggest sacrifice. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should do that going forward. That's from me to you.
Thank you, and I'm not.
Okay, good.
Because I wouldn't be participating anymore. But it was, my thing was, sacrifice for something great. I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't do that. So my reward is greater, bro. I'm about to go cash a check with so many zeros on it, bro. It was like B2K, what? But, right. But it was bigger.
Bro, I wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was